Hey everybody, welcome back. It's my third video of the week. I am cranking them out in honor of Thanksgiving tomorrow. You see behind me, we've got the kids' table all set up and ready to go. So today I'm covering the topic of how the narcissist uses shame to manipulate you and to control you. I've talked about this before, like in one of my recent videos, I was talking about the narcissist and shame. And shame is such an integral part of the narcissist's life. It may actually be the source of their narcissism. There's evidence from different studies and research that correlates shame to the origins of narcissism. But if you have a narcissistic parent like I do, you know that shame is just synonymous with these people. It's like they're always trying to cast shame on you, particularly if you are their child. If you're in a relationship with a narcissist romantically, they do the same thing too. Like they're just trying to shame you, trying to put you down. Shame is a way for them to elevate themselves to be at a more esteemed position than you are, essentially. So I have this awesome article. I'm gonna link it in this in the description of this video. So let's get into it. Basically, as well, narcissists, what they're doing when they use shame is like beating you to the punch, because we know that they're juvenile by nature. They're very immature and childish, and everything they do reflects this. So what they do in leveraging shame, any of these strategies, is like they're trying to beat you to the punch before you can say anything negative about them or to compromise their esteemed reputation. You know, they're going to try to cut you down first. So the first thing is they'll do historical revisionism, which is basically, this is so typical, they'll take like an actual event that has occurred, and or usually it's when you or someone else has actually achieved something, and the narcissist will take that event and they'll put their own spin on it, and they'll integrate some shame along the way while they're doing this. And they'll say like they're just trying to keep the other person humble or whatever, but what they're really doing is trying to humiliate or cut them down. They can't stand when other people are more successful than them. So that's what they do. They shame someone else for their accomplishment. That's the first way. Historical revisionism. They will retell a factual event with some condescending, negative flair that they sprinkle in from their own interpretation, or however they want to misinterpret, like whatever. They're going to put something negative in regard to the person that achieved something. That's one. So two is confidence breaking. They love to like collect information about you that might be compromising, like embarrassing stories or times that you were vulnerable. And typically narcissists are very charming, so they're able to elicit this information from you when you let your guard down and you share your story with them. So they kind of like catalog all of this in their mind, and they like tuck it back there to draw upon to basically blackmail you. So they'll, elicit stories from you where you've been embarrassed or something compromising, and they'll tuck it away to blackmail you. So that's confidence breaking. Way number three is exaggerating faults. This way, they are very good at cutting other people down in primarily a passive aggressive way. And they say they're only joking usually. They pass it off in that way. Or they'll, always blame it on the other person. Oh, they can't take a joke. But they're always trying to put other people down because that's how they're able to inflate their own egos, right? Like they're so miserable that they're here. So whoever's like here or above, they got to push them down to inflate their own faulty, fake egos, basically. So it's exaggerating faults. That's another way that they utilize shame to manipulate and control people. Number 4 is the victim card. This is their favorite. This is my narcissistic mother's favorite. What they do is they're very talented at like exhausting other people. And then like they'll just beat you down. Like they'll just get you to a place where you just can't take it anymore. Like they're exhausting, and like someone will snap and lash out at the narcissist or whatever their reaction is, probably justified, but the narc then becomes the victim, right? Because like what happened? Like why would they treat me this way? Why would they talk to me this way? And then the person that lashed out or reacted is in the wrong because, you can't react to these narcissists. They're so fragile. And, generally speaking, anyone, it's like being rear-ended, right? Like whoever rear ends the person in front, this person's at fault. The person that did the rear ending. So it's like that. Like whoever responds or lashes out to the narcissist constant probing or instigating, they're at fault by default. So the narcissist then falls right into the victim role like they love. And so that's another way that they utilize shame. It's by pulling the victim card. Another way, number 5, is by blame shifting. Whenever something goes wrong, never the narcissist's fault. It's always everyone else's fault. So they will put the shame on everyone and anyone around them that they can pass the buck or blame for something faulty that has occurred or gone wrong. They're very quick to dump their fair share of the responsibility. Like, for example, like with my narcissistic mother, all the times that I have called her out on horrible things she's done to me, it's always my fault. Like, it's such a like mental judo. It's so hard to even like nail it down when you think about it. But it's like, for example, my awful sister-in-law that I had as one of my bridesmaids in the wedding because it was the right thing to do, because as the black sheep, we're always manipulated, guilted into doing the right thing, whatever the narcissist wants. So I had her in my wedding, and all my bridesmaids, like there was like 8 of them or something, all got pink shoes. But not my awful sister-in-law. She showed up with silver shoes. So when I grieved this issue with my mother, my narc mother, she says, "Oh, Michelle, like, you're ridiculous. Like, it was one of the most important days of my life, but I'm the ridiculous one for being petty or whatever. Like, truthfully, I didn't give a shit about what color shoes anybody wore. I didn't care about their hair or make. I was not a bridezilla by any stretch, but it was something that my bridesmaids all decided to do, to be uniform. It was their idea, but the evil sister-in-law had to stick out. She had to be special, and my narc mother actually told her that it was okay. She could do what she wanted. But if I ever bring this up, it's me. So that's the blame shifting element of the shame. It's my fault, nobody else's fault. It's my fault for caring or for making an issue out of it. Blame shifting. That's way number 5, that the narcissist will use shame to manipulate you and control you. Way number 6 is baby talk, which is kind of silly. They belittle people. They belittle people by talking down to them. Ironically, they'll call other people immature. They'll say the other person needs to grow up. Again, I'm a great example of this as the black sheep. Everything's always my problem. I need to grow up or whatever. Like anything that anybody's ever done against me from this family, it's clearly my fault. I need to grow up. So it's baby talk. Like it's their way of elevating themselves as being superior and putting anyone else down that threatens them or that could be an adversary. So they baby talk. They basically put the opposing party down in some way. That's number 6. Number 7 is religious guilt, which I've done several posts on this on my Instagram account. They love aligning themselves with religion because who is more superior than God? So the narcissist sidles right up against whatever religious beliefs that you hold. Doesn't have to, like in my case, where I was raised Catholic, but it can be any religion, any superior figure, or concrete beliefs that you hold. The narcissist will leverage that to somehow spin it where you're doing something wrong, or they will align themselves with your convictions so that if you go against the narcissist, you're going against your religious beliefs, right? So that's religious guilt. My narc mother did that when she had her narcissistic rage in the summer because I started gray rocking her and, cutting down contact. She said to me, "How are you? It's not very Christian of you not to forgive, because I'm the one that has to forgive." You can forgive people, but not accept them as a part of your life. Like people that treat you shitty have no place in your life. So that's a way that they manipulate religion with shame to manipulate you and control you. That's number 7. Number 8 is offensive play, which is interesting. They will use personal attacks to put the other person on the defense. So this was in a video once too. Like, I use the example of like children on the playground. So like the narcissist has the ball and, an unsuspecting, innocent other child wants to come play, but the narcissist does not want to share the ball. So the innocent, unsuspecting child becomes the villain and, the narc becomes the victim, and ultimately the narcissist is attacking the other party, which puts the other party on the defense. So you get so like bamboozled, like confused by defending yourself, that the narcissist is absolved of any wrongdoing or responsibility. So that's how they leverage shame. That's way number 8, to manipulate you and control you. It's so juvenile. All of this is so juvenile. But that's what narcissists do. Number 9 is talking above. Instead of the baby talk, it's like instead of talking down to you, they'll take the other person's intelligence level and they'll try to one-up you. They'll try to put the other person in a level of inferiority. Even if the other person is more intelligent than they are, they'll do things like use the most sophisticated vocabulary they can muster. They'll also do physical, like posturing. Like they'll present themselves like superior, like they're more superior, like they're looking down on the other, like actually physically appearing to be more superior than the other party. So talking above, that's number 9. Number 10 is comparing accomplishments. Whatever anyone else has done in this world, it cannot possibly compare to the narcissist because they're the best. Everything they've done is the best. If you've done it, they've done it better. They will always minimize other people's achievements. They will shame the other person into feeling like they'll never be good enough, like to be on the same level as the narcissist. No way. So shame, they use comparing accomplishments to shame other people into buying the BS story that the narcissist is somehow better than them. Number 11 is a first impression. So narcissists are very consumed with their physical appearances. They're often wearing designer clothes or they present well. I've spoke about this in another video that these people are oftentimes like successful in society, like in politics or, climbing the corporate ladder because they just appear to be polished and put together. So there's another way that they use shame, their first impression. So other people that might not be as put together as they are, well, they're clearly not as good as the narcissist. So the narcissist will shame anyone that's not as consumed with vanity as they are. So it's very superficial, juvenile thing. My narc mother does it all the time. She'll put people down based on their physical appearances, their looks, or maybe they're not as attractive. So clearly that means that they're not as superior as the narcissist. It's another way they use shame. So that's 11 ways narcissists use shame to manipulate and control people. It's disgusting, as is all narcissistic behavior. It's juvenile, ridiculous. You've probably been the victim of it, more than one of these. And you've probably witnessed the narcissist using these tactics against other people. So anyway, I hope this was useful information for you guys. If you have followed me, that's awesome. I appreciate you all so sincerely. If you have not subscribed yet, that would be so great. Just click the subscribe button down there and put the bell on so you know when I upload. I try to do at least one a week, but this week, in honor of Thanksgiving, I'm trying to crank out one a day because this is a particularly delicate time when you have a narcissist in your family. Anyway, give me a thumbs up also. That's huge. That would be super great. Let me know what you think. Comments. I greatly appreciate all of you. God bless you guys. We're bumped and we're bruised, but more than anything, we're blessed because we're finding each other. We're finding our voices and learning about this madness and that it's not us, it's them. God bless you guys. See you tomorrow.